Hello, you're watching Business Spotlight. I'm Gary Alfonso. This week, the spotlight falls on the entertainment and content industry. I'm joined by Kholeka Maringa to chat to us about the organization's successful penetration of the African market, including the diverse content offering this media outfit continues to provide. Kholeka, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So your division is part of the commercial arm of MultiChoice's business. Talk us quickly through what your division does and how you work about broadening further into the content.
Thanks, Gary. So basically, DStv Media Sales is an award-winning media sales organization that basically sells to business and brands on the DStv platform, as well as on the DStv channels. So on the MultiChoice platform, we're looking at products that are sitting in over 23 million households in Africa, which means that we have over 100 million people across Africa watching and accessing our products via DStv or DTT platform, GoTV.
So in terms of then broadening your not only appeal but your business offering across the continent, that must be quite an interesting space to be in at this stage. What would you say are the major attributes that on that path to success?
So, as you know, Africa is a continent with over 50 countries. So, when you're talking about media and entertainment, especially TV, people actually want to see themselves. So for us, local content has always been a big and a major strategy for us, even for MultiChoice as well as Mnet, who does all the local productions in country. Because we want to tell African stories. We want to tell stories about Africans, authentic African stories, Africans in their homes, Africans in their happy space, and projecting Africans in a very good light.
Now, in terms of the content strategy, not only from a commercial side, but from a content side, what's the winning formula? You alluded to it, but
yeah,
really, what's the winning formula in different territories as well?
Yeah, so I alluded to it earlier when I mentioned the local strategy. So for each country, we actually have local channels that would speak to that specific country and would cater the content for that specific country. Obviously, there are other content that basically go across. An example of that would be Big Brother Niger, where across all the African countries, we see a lot of interest and a lot of audiences tuning in to watch. But more specifically, people like to watch their own shows that are based about them, that talk to their culture, that talk to their lives and how they basically live out their lives in our wonderful continent of Africa.
And then in terms of your particular space then, and what you as a business division trying to do, have you been able to transform? MultiChoice is a major organization and we see great signs of transformation all the time.
Correct.
But in the areas where you are, how are you able to to transform the business, the leadership in the organization, and that it also has a much greater representation?
That's a great question, Gary, because, for us as a leader of a division, I obviously learn by example. So if you look at the MultiChoice structure, it's very much female-led. So at DStv Media Sales, for example, 90% of our exco is females. So that means that even for me, across the countries that we operate in, I have a very big female contingency, sales team that's working for our business. So we do not only just celebrate, the female and promote the empowerment, but we actually put our money where our mouths are. So we spend a lot of money in engaging and making sure that the women in our organization are sponsored in terms of bursaries. A majority of our bursaries, about 70% of MultiChoice's spend on bursary was on women in our last fiscal. So for us, it's not just a talk, but it's actually walking the talk. And you can see it from our leadership, from the industry that we work with. We have a lot of female producers out there that we support, that we train in the film and production industry. So for us, we really put our money where our mouths are when it comes to female empowerment.
Then just finally, opportunity for a bit of a marketing and sales stunt. Looking at your different audiences across Africa, local content is a great driver. The absolutely unique content platforms and the ease of operation of MultiChoice on the continent and MultiChoice Africa is a definite advantage. But from a commercial perspective, the kind of diversity across the continent must surely be an attractive proposition for people wanting to take their products from a commercial perspective, along with all this great content, into Africa.
Absolutely. And, for organizations, especially organizations that are looking at growing into Africa, as we know, Africa is the new frontier. And as MultiChoice, we are Africa's most loved entertainment platform. And in our platform, we are sitting with a variety of ecosystem. Our ecosystem spans across the linear, digital, BVOD, and stream. We've just recently launched the DStv stream. So if you're an advertiser and you're looking to reach Africans across the continent, I would believe that MultiChoice would be the best platform for a organization to put their ad across, because with over 100 million people watching across Africa, I don't see how you can actually go wrong. Another thing is that it's not only just in households, because that 100 million is sitting in households. We also have access in hotels, pubs, restaurants, where people can actually access our product. So can you imagine if you're an organization that needs to go into Africa, DStv platform would definitely be a platform of choice for most.
Well, we're going to have to leave it there. Looks like the leadership is in good hands, and transformation also happening rapidly at MultiChoice Africa.
Thank you for having me.
That's all we have time for. Stay tuned for more Business Day TV programming coming up right after the break.